in Logan County and on the WHOW app. AgriTalk on WHOW.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom call today is Micaela Harris with the McLean County Museum of History. Good to see you, Micaela. How are you today?
I'm good. Gearing up for a busy week ahead.
It is a busy week for the McLean County Museum of History. Why is that? What's going on? Let's dive into it.
We have our big Dia De Muertos celebration this Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. We're really excited about it. This is an event that we have done for the past 3 years, and this is set to be our biggest one yet. We have 10 community partners that are coming together to help us throw this big shindig. We'll have free food, live music, art making activities with Illinois Art Station, a fun community like mural project with the language spot. We'll also be having free mini language lessons with the language spot, which is really exciting. As well as both the Bloomington and Normal public libraries will be there. We're going to be doing some bilingual story times that talk about the history and the cultural significance of Dia de Muertos. And then, of course, we have our ofrenda that has been designed by 2 local members of the community. And then we have our community ofrenda where folks can bring in photos of their loved ones to add in, and that will be on display for the next 2 weeks or so. So we really hope folks come out. It's also First Friday in downtown Bloomington, so all of the businesses are open late. The art galleries all have fun stuff going on. So I think that downtown Bloomington will be hopping this Friday for sure.
Yeah, what is Dia de los Muertos for folks that may not know, Micaela? What is this holiday all about?
So Dia de Muertos is a traditionally Mexican, but other parts of South America celebrate it as well. And then obviously it's become quite large in the United States also. It has kind of pre-colonial roots, but kind of took shape morphing with All Saints Day. All Saints Day after kind of the Catholic Church came into that region. So it's a holiday that has really kind of morphed over time, but at the core of it, it honors our ancestors and our loved ones who have passed. So the whole idea is that you create these ofrendas with photos of your loved ones, and then ofrendas most often kind of include the 4 elements of like earth. So earth, wind, fire, and water. And that is to help kind of bring your loved ones home to keep their memory alive. A lot of folks might have seen the Disney Pixar movie Coco. That is a great kind of introduction to the holiday if you're not at all familiar. Obviously to our event, I think is a good introduction. It's really special. It's something that I started celebrating personally. My grandfather was Mexican, and it's a great way to kind of keep your loved ones alive in many ways and honor them.
Sure. Yeah, great film, that kind of brings in a new culture to young ones, and this is a great way to kind of bring that to life, if you will, for a lot of people in the community. You mentioned those community partnerships, Micaela. Speak to those a little bit. You've mentioned all sorts of groups coming in to support you in this effort. What's that look like?
Yeah, so it's been a really great honor to kind of bring all of these people together. Illinois Art Station is a tried and true partner for us. We do stuff with them all of the time. Also, Latinos in Blono is a blog that a local woman runs. Her husband, their family came here for a job at Rivian. And she has kind of used, she's a journalist back in Mexico, but due to the restrictions on their immigration visas, her husband is allowed to work and she is not. So she kind of channels that energy into really creating a community for other, Spanish speaking immigrants to the area to kind of find community, to help each other adjust and learn, and make a new home here. So that's been really great to work with her. She's a force of nature. I'm always inspired by her. Then we also have a lot of student groups, which have been really fun to work with. So we have the Latino Student Alliance from both Wesleyan and ISU coming. We also have Alice from Heartland Community College coming. So we have representation from all three of the local kind of higher ed places in Bloomington Normal. And then also we have the Bloomington Junior High School multilingual group that is going to be participating with us. So bringing in these community partners is a great way to not only help like kind of grow the event, but to expand what we can do. One of our college partners, they're going to be running a Calaveras activity, which is kind of a fun quasi-poetry activity that will kind of expose folks to perhaps an art form that they didn't know about. And that is something that we wouldn't be able to offer without that partnership. So we're really, really grateful for that. The museum, we're kind of the convener of this. And then we really, our kind of goal with this was to kind of open it up to the community, to let people come in, talk to us, tell us how, they would want to celebrate this, how, I think we can bring in the educational history elements and provide a good experience for everybody that will come through.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Again, Micaela Harris, McLean County Museum of History, is our guest on the Zoom call for today. The when and where on this one again, Micaela, is?
This Friday, November 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Bloomington.
Yeah. So is this kind of like a street festival? Is that the vibe that'll be, accompanying with this?
So there will be a little bit of that feel just because there's folks downtown for First Friday. All of the events, just because when we were planning this, we weren't sure, November can be many things weather-wise. So all of the DIA activities will be taking place inside of the museum. But like I mentioned, it's First Friday in downtown Bloomington. So all of the businesses are open late. There'll be lots of people out and about. It always has a really good feel. Just to have people downtown.
You mentioned this is the third year for it. What prompted beginning this celebration?
We had smaller iterations of this previously before the past 3 years. We actually during COVID did an outdoor ofrenda that was really kind of cool and had people submit photos, and we're able to kind of put together a nice kind of community memorial, if you will. And we got a really good response from that. So if we keep seeing engagement with that, we keep doing it. We're getting more and more people every year. And, the museum's mission is to tell the diverse stories of the people of McLean County. And I think that this is one of the many ways that we do just that.
The ofrenda piece of this, Micaela, speak to that. I know you've kind of touched on it a little bit as we've discussed this here this morning, but what is that? What does that look like? And what can folks anticipate if they want to participate and be a part of that?
Yeah, so our ofrenda installation is a traditional ofrenda. It's a little bit bigger. Ofrendas don't have hard and fast rules of exactly what they have to be or what they look like. There are some really ornate ones, especially in Mexico. There are some really, I've seen people just do them in their windowsills with the space that they have in their homes and apartments. So it kind of depends. But this particular installation, Miriam Padilla, who is another local community member that we've worked with to design this, she has every year she comes to us with a wonderful vision, and we say, okay, how can we make it happen? So this year the ofrenda is again a traditional ofrenda. It has those 4 elements: earth, wind, water, fire on it, but then it also focuses on La Katrina, which is everyone, I say that and you're probably like, I don't know what that is, but I would venture to guess is if you see an image of it, you're like, oh yeah, I've seen that around. It's a print that was made in the early 1900s by an artist in Mexico who did a lot of satirical imagery leading up to the Mexican Revolution. And so we're able to tell a little bit of that. We have some very cool depictions of her. And then again, we have those traditional elements. So the ofrenda is probably a little bit more grand than what people would do in their homes, but it gives you a good sense of the traditional elements. It teaches you a little bit about Mexican art history. And then we have that interactive community piece, which really kind of then allows the community to participate in it, to add your loved ones and to honor them in that way.
That's awesome. Did I miss anything on this, Micaela, you wanted to put out there for us today?
I think we've covered most of it. We hope to see people come out. Again, it's a really unique and fun event. So
Sure. Again, one more time, if you don't mind, the when, the where, and how folks learn more about this event.
absolutely. So it will be this Friday, November 1st from 5 to 8 p.m. at the McLean County Museum of History. For more information, folks can visit mchistory.org.
Very good. Well, Micaela, let's break here and talk some other things coming up with the McLean County Museum of History on the other side of a break. Again, Micaela Harris with the McLean County Museum of History, our guest on the Zoom call today. More to come with Micaela on the morning show.
WHOW.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job, when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Hi, Ryan.
We're here for the wedding.
The wedding was a month ago. You were supposed to be my best man.
Told you he'd be upset.
Sorry. See, we were headed to the church when we heard a radio spot for a furniture store.
We really needed new end tables.
And while we were paying for those end tables...
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. Jen heard a radio commercial for a 3-day spa package at a big fancy hotel.
Oh, Ryan, it was so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Anyway, we're lounging by the pool.
Tell him what happened.
Here's what happened. I'm listening to a podcast on my phone.
When he hears an ad about a direct flight
to a resort in the Galapagos Islands.
What?
Again, Ryan? So beautiful.
So beautiful. Anyway, we're just getting ready to fly home, and what do we hear?
Let me guess. A radio commercial.
For a car dealership.
Tell him what we did.
Here's what we did. We bought a car and decided to drive home.
You can't drive home from the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, did we feel foolish when we found that out?
I really thought it would float.
Radio goes where we go. A message from the Illinois Broadcasters Association and this station. They brought you this message.
This is Connie from Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton, inviting you to our 5th annual Christmas open house on November 9th from 10 to 3. We have new Christmas decor displayed and door prizes every hour. So come see us on the 9th. Look for my icon at dewatdailynews.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. The crops are coming out and it's time to invest.
Does that mean we're all getting crop dusted?
No, it means it's a good time to invest in farmland.
Beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you...
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Buying or selling farmland? Click their icon at dewatdailynews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Micaela Harris with the McLean County Museum of History, my guest on the Zoom today. And Micaela, let's dive into more going on at the Museum of History there. And I know coming up, you've got a great program with an archeologist. What's going on here? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to this one. Dr. Logan Miller is a professor of archaeology at Illinois State University, and for the past several years, him and his students and his colleagues have been working on an archaeological site just north of Hayworth that is a approximately 700-year-old village. It's a Mississippian village. So just for context, that is before Columbus ever came to the United States, or what would become the United States. They have found some fascinating things out there, including ears of corn that are about an inch big. As well as pottery shards, arrowheads. This was an early mound building civilization, so kind of similar to Cahokia mounds, which some folks may have heard of, but there's really fascinating research, and Dr. Miller will, of course, tell folks more about this on November 12th during his program, which will be live streamed to the museum's YouTube channel and then also take place in the museum's courtroom. But this settlement is really kind of mysterious in many ways. It's not associated with any one particular tribe. In fact, based on the pottery shards and the remnants that they found, they believe that actually several different kind of groups of people kind of came together at this site. So it's really fascinating. I had the pleasure to go out to that site 2 years ago now and visit with Dr. Miller and his students. And one really interesting thing that I'll kind of share is that they found axes in the doorways of remaining structures. So these were stones that were carved down to be axes, attached to the handle. Would have been a very, very helpful, useful tool of the time. And they found these axes strategically placed at these doorways. And then they also found lots of carbon remnants, which suggests that then the town was, or the village was burned down. So scholars have that information have led them to believe that this was a migratory tribe, a group of people that were at this site for a while and then decided for whatever reason to move on to the next. And with a lot of honor and respect, kind of laid those, again, very time intensive to create and very helpful tools down at the hearth of these buildings, and then burned it down and moved on and kind of in a lot of ways vanished into history. So very fascinating stuff, really interesting. Dr. Miller is fantastic. So we're really, really excited to welcome him back. He did a program quite a few years ago, pre-COVID, talking about what they had found there. And so he's going to provide not only kind of a history of the site, what they know about it, but then also what they have found most recently.
That's cool. Really neat to have something like that so close to home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Micaela, one more time, the when and where on that program, and is it free? Can folks check it out for free?
Yeah. It is absolutely free. So that will be on Tuesday, November 12th at 6:30 p.m., both streaming live online at the museum's YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/MC History Museum, and then in person at the McLean County Museum of History.
Very good. Yeah, check that out. Coming up right around the corner. Very good. And I know, Micaela, you and I were talking about before we got started, Cemetery Walk, last one ever took place this fall, and that virtual Cemetery Walk is now available. Let's speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, so doing the virtual walk is something that came out of the pandemic. It's, I think, one of the good things that ended up coming from the pandemic, just because the Cemetery Walk is a wonderful, wonderful program that we did for 30 years. And by doing the virtual walk, folks who have limited mobility or were simply out of town when the walk took place have the ability to experience the performances, hear the story, and engage with the history from the comfort of their own home. So starting on November 4th, which is just a few days from now, we will have the virtual walk streaming, so you can watch it anywhere, anytime. Yeah, we're really, really looking forward to having that available for folks.
For sure. How does one get the access to that? Is it something that costs? Is it online? What does that look like, Micaela?
Yeah, so this year, actually, museum members will receive access to the virtual walk for free as a part of our Member Appreciation Month. But if you are not a museum member, I would encourage you to become a museum member to support the work that we do. But if not, tickets are $25 per individual household. So it's basically a $25 one-time fee, and then you can watch it as many times as you would like. And you can get those tickets and more information on the virtual cemetery walk at mchistory.org.
Very good. How was the cemetery walk this year?
It was great. We were really blessed with beautiful weather. It was really, really fun to see everyone who came out. And it was emotional that last day for sure. But I really, really think that we went out with a bang, which is what we wanted to do. I know you've had Candace on the show several times, and Candace was really the driving force behind this event for the last 20 years. And she really made this last one a special one. Since COVID, we had seen, and a little bit even before COVID, we had seen pretty steady decline in ticket sales and interest in the event. Of course, once we announced that it would be the last one, we completely sold out, which was very rewarding. And we were very grateful to the community support. But yeah, we are excited to be able to offer this virtual option for folks who maybe weren't able to make it. weren't able to snag tickets before they sold out. And we look forward to developing some new programming in the future that keeps the spirit of the cemetery walk alive, but is a little bit more sustainable for us and much more accessible for the community.
Look forward to whatever that may look like for sure, Micaela. With that access to the cemetery walk, does that also get you access to like archived cemetery walks, old walks of the past?
You know, I wish it did. We have footage from all of the cemetery walks. The past now 4 cemetery walks have been provided as the virtual walks, which have been fabulous. In the early days, our archivist George Perkins went out with like a handheld video cam. I think as things went on, he maybe got a tripod too, but not as professional filming perhaps. But unfortunately, no. The ticket for this virtual cemetery walk is just for this year's walk. We are working to kind of see what we can potentially do with that other archival footage. There are sticky intricacies with copyright and actors and all of that stuff, but we have definitely preserved that film, and that has been one thing that we have discussed, kind of trying to figure out maybe what we can do with that moving forward.
Sure. Very good. Very good. Well, Micaela, I look at the clock. I've got about a minute left with you. Talk to me about the next Lunch and Learn. What are you highlighting this time around?
Yeah, so our next Lunch and Learn will be on Thursday, November 14th. For folks who may not know, our Lunch and Learn series is an ongoing series. Every third Thursday of the month, I almost messed it up, but it is the third Thursday of the month, from 12:10 to 1 p.m. So they are 50-minute programs. We usually even wrap up a little bit before 1 p.m. The whole idea is that you can join on your lunch hour. We stream all of these programs live. So if you can't make it into the museum, you can, tune in on your lunch hour from wherever you may be to learn something new. We have rotating guest speakers, and the topics vary dramatically. So Lunch and Learns are a great kind of programming series that allows us to highlight a lot of different topics and bring a lot of folks in. This next one is going to actually be with a representative from Rivian.
Okay.
And we're going to be talking about Rivian, the next generation. So
very good.
At what their plans are.
Very good. Micaela, I apologize for doing this to you. I've got to cut you off. Micaela Harris, McLean County Museum of History, our guest. Network News on the way.